Hey guys, I'm making this video to help you go over your study guide so that it will be a bigger help when you go to study for your test, hopefully tonight. So I'm going to go over each question and show you the correct answers so that you know that you're studying the correct things for your test tomorrow. So, for number 1, the basic unit for length in the metric system is the meter. Number 2, the basic unit for mass in the metric system is the gram. And you could have all found these on your metric system notes. Number 3, the basic unit for volume in the metric system is the liter. Now, number 4, filling in the stair steps using the metric system prefixes. Once again, all in your notes. And here they are, all 7 steps. Kilo, hecto, deca, your base units, which are listed up above, like the meter, gram, and liter. And then you go to deci, centi, and milli. That would be a really great thing for you to know on your test. Trust me. Number 5. What unit of measurement would you use to measure the distance from Indianapolis to Chicago? So a little bit of critical thinking. Think about the metric system, and then the distance from Indiana to Illinois is quite large, so think about the largest unit for distance that you could come up using metric prefixes. The best one would definitely be the kilometer, which would be 1,000 meters. So imagine lining up 1,000 meter sticks, and that would be 1 kilometer. So that makes the most sense to measure distance. Okay, number 6, practicing metric conversions. So going from millimeters to kilometers, you're going all the way from the bottom all the way to the top, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've done my work off to the side here. I'm going to move my decimal 6 spaces to the left, and there's my answer. Letter B, centimeters to meters. So I'm going to go 1, actually I'm going to start here, centimeters, and then I'm going to go 1, 2 to the left. And there is my answer. Letter C, 58.3 millimeters to meters. So I'm going to go from milli here up to meters. So 1, 2, 3 to the left. That leaves me with 0.0583 meters. Now I'm going to go through the rest of these fairly quickly, and you can just make sure that you did them correctly on your paper. And here you have them. Number 7, what unit of measurement would you use to measure the length of this classroom? Well, you think about this, and you got to use the common sense method. What do you have within your classroom that you could use to measure it, and it wouldn't take forever? The answer is, we have meter sticks, and we would use meters. Number 8, what unit of measurement would you use to measure the length of a pencil? I would personally use centimeters. Millimeters just seems a little bit too small. Number 9, list the steps of the scientific method. And here I've listed all 5. Question, hypothesis, experiment, results, and conclusion. Then number 10, how can you tell what the independent variable is in an experiment? We've done this a million times, you guys, so I'm going to need you to fill in number 10 and number 11 yourself. I bet we've written them 15 times in class, and I hope that you have them in your notes. Number 12, how can you identify constants in an experiment? This is the best way that I know to describe it. They are factors that stay the same throughout your experiment. So if you think back to your ruler lab, some of the constants were maybe the same person dropped the ruler every time. The same person caught the ruler every time. You dropped the ruler from the 30 centimeter end every time. So think through your procedure and see what stayed the same. Okay, on to the next page. Number 13, how can you identify the control in an experiment? The control in your experiment is the group or test where things pretty much stay the same. They stay normal. They remain unchanged. So it's kind of a baseline for you to compare your results to. Number 14, what describes the steps you use during an experiment? Well, the scientific method, of course. And then what summarizes the results after an experiment? Well, that's what data tables and graphs are for, guys. And then number 16, what's the information collected during an experiment called? Data. Number 17, write a hypothesis for the following question and use the proper format. So, the question is, which paper towel is most absorbent? Proper format would be an if-then statement. So we're testing absorbency and paper towel types. So a good hypothesis for this would be, if we pour an equal amount of water on the table, then the brand Bounty will pick up the most. Of course, you don't have to have this hypothesis. Anything along these lines would be fine. So yours doesn't necessarily have to match mine. Number 18, underline the independent variable in the following hypothesis. In this case, you guys, the towels are the independent variable. Those are the things that we are testing. We're taking different types of towels and seeing which one is the strongest. So we're measuring strength and testing towels. That's how I know it's the independent variable. Okay, using the graph to answer the questions. Number 21, temperature and time are the two blank on this graph. Well, if you look at where they are in the graph, temperature is up here where the dependent variable would go. Time is down here where the independent variable would go. The words that those two things have in common is variables. Number 22, at 8 p.m. the temperature was blank degrees Fahrenheit. So I'll go to 8 p.m. here, up to the dot, follow it over 40 degrees Fahrenheit. And then at 50 degrees Fahrenheit, what was the time? So if I go to 50 and follow it over, looks like the time was 8 a.m. Last but very much not least is your graphing. So I am going to show you what this graph would look like if it were perfectly done and it were going to get all the points. So hopefully your graph will match mine. Okay guys, here's my graph. So that means that this graph right here would get 100%. So if you have hopefully the exact same thing as this, then you're in great shape. If you've got something slightly different but you think it still works, it very well could, so you should probably ask me or Miss Hughes. Otherwise, I hope you guys study hard tonight, and best of luck. I will see you tomorrow for your test. Study hard. Good luck.